Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Shane, and today we're going to be attempting the reverse makeup challenge. This trend has been circling around YouTube and it really caught my interest. 9 times out of 10, I see trends kind of come and go and I never really jump on the bandwagon, but I saw this one and not only did I think it was hilarious, but I thought it was extremely clever. I actually got this idea. The first person that I saw do this was James Charles, so I'm gonna give him some credit and leave his link listed below if you want to check it out. Honestly, he did a really good job. I don't think mine's gonna turn out nearly as good. I'm not expecting a lot out of today's look. I'm expecting kind of a complete fail, but that's what we're here to do today. I did take a little bit of time this morning to write down the steps in order that I normally do for like my everyday kind of makeup look. So we're gonna be starting at the bottom, which would be my last step, which is setting spray, and we'll be finishing with moisturizer. Let's get started. Alright, so we'll be going into my Maybelline Master Fix setting spray. Oh yeah, just one for good luck. We will let this dry for a moment, but step 1 is done. So right before I would go ahead and apply my setting spray, I would be doing my lips. So I'm gonna just go into my makeup bag here that has a bunch of liquid lipsticks and choose one today. And because we're kind of going for a more kind of everyday natural look, I think I'm gonna choose, you know what, actually, we do have a couple of brand new lipsticks that I introduced to you guys and I haven't really played with them. One of them is upstairs, the kind of like really hot pink fuchsia one, if you remember the vlog that these came from. So today we're gonna try out the cheeky one. This is from the second set of NYX Lingerie lipsticks. So I'm gonna apply this, I guess. This looks insane. Oh my God. The color is really pretty. It just looks crazy because nothing else is done. I will just say, because this is a brand new product, so I just want to let you guys know how I like it. I do enjoy the NYX Lingerie lines. They just tend to be a little bit, some colors more than others tend to be a little bit more sheer. This one's a little bit sheer and a little bit patchy, so I'm just gonna go over it with a second layer. Oh yeah. Okay. There we go. I'm gonna let this dry and we're gonna move on to our next step, which is, please God, don't be something crazy. Oh. Highlight. Alright, so I guess we're gonna go in with a little bit of highlighting. Wow. I never thought, there's been some times where I've gotten on the camera looking pretty wretched. This is up there. So I guess we're just gonna keep the highlights simple. I love going into my Carly Bybel Deluxe Edition palette. Ulta has restocked on these. I'm gonna restock on another palette because it is a limited edition. I don't know when they're not gonna hold this anymore, but I love this palette and it's super affordable. So I think the next time I go into Ulta, I'm gonna be picking that up again. But for highlight, I'm just going to take this little highlighting brush from e.l.f. and I guess we're just gonna go, a lot of the times I'll pick up this pink highlighting shade and then just a little bit of this white one. And I guess we're just gonna highlight. All right, well, it's giving me a beautiful natural glow. I'm so excited that I decided to do this challenge. I'm already having a lot of fun. I really am. It's just really interesting to see like the steps that you would do, and I'm so used to doing it in a pretty particular order. It's just kind of crazy because at this point in my makeup, I'd be, you know, finishing it, not just starting it. So I would highlight my cheekbones. We're doing a little bit of a more intense highlight because keep in mind that foundation is third to last. So I kind of wanted to poke through as much as it can, but I must say, like, it looks like I just worked out. Like, oh yeah, I've been just sweating, working hard. I love this color, by the way. It still is a little bit patchy, so not the best formula. A little drying as well. I'm actually just, this is just a side step, but my lips are a little bit dry, so I'm just gonna throw some lip balm over this. Doesn't help that we're still in winter, getting close to spring. Then I'm gonna take a little bit of highlighter. I'm gonna use this little brush here just to bring it down the bridge of my nose. Woo! Lord! Whoa, it is crazy to see highlighter without like foundation. It looks so intense. Holy Toledo. I'm gonna bring a little bit above my eyebrow as well. While I'm complaining, I'm just adding more on my face, a little bit on my chin, I guess. I guess we'll just put a little bit on my cupid bow. Why not? Why not? I guess, why not? Next step, blush. All right, blush, 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 blush. What color do I want to do? By the way, I am in the market for a blush palette. I'm almost debating on getting a palette instead of singles. So if you guys have a favorite blush brand out there where you're like, I get all my blushes from them. I went into Sephora the other day and I was looking at some blushes, but I was a little overwhelmed. I kind of wanted to go home and look at some reviews, but I like asking you guys as well. I feel like people who genuinely really love makeup will give you good suggestions and all that fun stuff. What was I looking for? Blush. I was just talking about blush and forgot what I was looking for. We're gonna go with Luminoso today just because of the lip color. It's kind of like that pinky peach. So I'm just going to take a large powder brush here and just like the highlighter, which I guess we're just gonna go right over this highlighter. I'm gonna add a little bit more than I would in hopes that it'll poke through at the end. Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to do like concealer. All of this is gonna be pointless, I guess. So I just like to apply my brush in circular motions and drag it back a little bit, not too much. Most of the color is gonna be concentrated on my cheeks, but oh, it's a nice like little flush of color though. We're moving on to powder bronzer. So for bronzer, I've been using for a while now, Becca's Capri Coast. Ooh. And ever since I got this round brush set, I've been using them a lot, even for creams and powders. So I'm just gonna do what I normally would, swirl it in the pan, tap it off, and we're just gonna go in and start bronzing up the face a little bit. Well, it certainly looks like I've been in the sun, which I was. I was outside earlier with my daughter. I was shoveling because we just got a nice heap of snow and we were building a snowman. So we're out for like a good hour and a half. Bronzer is done. I feel like it just made my face look really dirty. Lashes. Okay, I'm gonna move on to lashes because at this point, before I did the powder bronzer, the blush, the highlight, I'd be finishing up the eyes, so let me go get my lashes. Let me go ahead and try to pop these on. This is very awkward because I don't have any mascara to kind of guide me, so we're gonna wing it. It'll be kind of interesting to see though, because I use these lashes almost every day. Well, if I wear makeup, I'm pretty much wearing these lashes. So it'd be interesting to see what they look like without like the liner and everything. You guys get a good look at them. I think I got them on pretty well. And you know what? If they weren't so long, I feel like I could pass these off as like eyelash extensions and wear them without much else. I'm gonna allow my lashes to completely dry because next is my liquid liner and I don't want my eyelashes to move at all. So I'm gonna let these completely adhere to my skin. So far, so good though. I don't look as crazy. I mean, I look crazy, let's get real, but not as crazy as I thought, but we still have a lot to go. So I would definitely wear a lip liner with this, by the way. It's not looking too cute on its own. I have no idea how the heck I'm gonna do this with these big old freaking spiders in my way, but we're gonna attempt to do my usual winged liner. Pray for me and let's try to do this. I think I'm gonna try to, okay, is that cheating? No, I don't know. I don't know the real rules of this. Okay, so far so good. We got like the hardest part done, which is the wing. So I'm gonna try to get this wing to match before I finish up the rest of the eye. I think we were pretty successful on that, so I'm going to finish the rest of my eyeliner. So I'm just gonna continue to pull down the eyelashes so I can actually get on my skin. Line's not perfect, but it's not bad. I can't get in the inner corner and my brush keeps getting caught on these lashes. Huzzah! Okay, Not terrible, not good, but not terrible. Oh, sugar, I'm sorry. I should have done my mascara first. That's okay. Mascara was supposed to come and then, whoop, and then liner. My bad. That was a mistake, but not a huge deal. It wouldn't affect our makeup too much. So I'm just going to take my telescopic liquid mascara here and just go over my natural lashes and pretty much push them into these falsies. It looks super weird when your regular eyelashes don't have any mascara because you can kind of see them against your falsies, so this is a good step. Okay, perfect. Oh shoot, I gotta get the bottom lashes. Oh, sugar. Well, it's not like I messed up my foundation or anything. Mascara is done. Moving on will be our bottom lash line eyeshadow, because usually I would do my top and then my bottom. Again, we're going in reverse, so I'm gonna start with the bottom. One of my favorite brushes to use for my bottom lash line is this little dome pencil brush. I love it. I very rarely use anything else. And one of my favorite shadows of this palette is this neutral, kind of like warm toned neutral shade. So I'm gonna take a little bit of that, even though our mascara is in the way. Okay, then right before I would do my lower lash line, I would put a little bit of highlighter in my inner tear duct. I'm just gonna use this concealer brush from e.l.f. and I'm gonna pick up that white highlighting shade that we use. This is my favorite. This is what I have most of the time in my inner corner. Tap it off and we're just gonna pop it right in there. Sorry, I'm not even looking at the camera. And I would normally bring it a little bit on my lower lash line, like in that inner third. Something like that. I like a pretty blinding inner corner, so that's pretty good. Oh, I think this is where it's gonna go to. Next, I'm gonna take my NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk. This is a step I do all the time, so I couldn't leave it out. I'm gonna line my lower lash line really quick. And honestly, I don't have a pencil sharpener at the moment, so I'm just gonna take a little brush here and apply this right on my lash line. I just feel like it makes a huge difference. This is why I love doing it. I will most of the time wear white, but I'll also wear nude. And then depending on the look, I have some other colors as well, but this is kind of like my go-to. And then I always bring a little bit down to my lower lash line, to help shadows stick better, kind of as a primer, but it also just overall lightens up the appearance of my under eyes, and I tend to deal with dark circles, as you could probably see from the beginning of the video, so that's why I do it. And then I'm gonna take this little brush again and just blend out this cream. I don't know if it would be wrong to go back into mascara. I guess not, because in a normal tutorial, I go back into steps if I need to add some more. My problem right now is the white liner just pretty much coated my bottom lashes, so you can barely see the mascara anymore. I did do the mascara first, so I don't feel like I'm cheating. I'm just going over my lashes so that you can see that I actually, you know, did apply mascara. With our white liner done, I'm going to add a lid color. Most of the time I start with my crease and then I put a lid shade. So for my lid, I think I'm going to keep it simple and use this MAC pigment. The only thing that I'm kind of worried about is it kind of like raining down on my lashes and liner. But I think I'm going to spray one of my brushes so we don't deal with a lot of fallout, and we can kind of fix that problem. So I'm just going to take a flat shader brush and then taking my setting spray, I'm going to spritz it a couple times, and then I'll pick up a little bit of this pigment and of course beat off the rest so we have a pretty good sticky eyeshadow. I'm gonna look right down into a mirror to really just try to get it on my lid. I don't care if it goes into my crease too much because we're just gonna blend that out later. These eyelashes are so freaking in the way. Ooh, I feel like when I dipped in again, the brush wasn't too wet, so I'm dealing with some fallout on this eye. Actually, it wasn't too bad. Not too bad at all. I need to go into a deeper crease shade. So normally I would put my kind of transition color, then I would deepen up the crease with a darker brown and then put a lid shade on. So next we need to put a darker crease shade in there. Ooh, so I'm gonna take my unicorn angled brush here, and most of the time I just go into this dark fudgy brown. It's in the palette and it's a great color, super pigmented. Little goes a long way, so I'm just gonna use this. I'm gonna flick it out a little bit to kind of give my eye, that elongated look that my liner helps with. I'm not gonna worry too much about blending because we do have to go in with another transition shade in my crease. So just making it a little bit soft, but not worrying too much about the edges being too harsh. Whenever I'm doing a darker or like a cut crease, or I'm trying to define the crease, hold your brush a little bit closer to the top versus back here. I like to hold my brush back here if I'm blending. It gives you a really soft touch on the skin, and I hold it a little bit closer if I kind of want more pigment or I need to be a little bit firmer. Just a quick tip I figured I'd throw in for you guys to give a try. Next, I'm going to switch to a fluffy Anastasia brush and go back into the shade that we used on our lower lash line, tap that off. This is gonna go right above that fudgy brown, and I blend it up pretty high, almost to my brow bone. I actually don't highlight my brow bone all the time. Thinking about it for this tutorial, I probably should have, but it's okay. We're just gonna go with it. That is it for the eyes. I was honestly expecting something much worse. This needs help. This needs a little bit of loving. Maybe, you know, not putting the white liner over the eyeshadow would have helped, but overall, it's actually not a bad look. So let's move on. Next is brow gel. Taking some of my e.l.f. brow gel, don't mind the color of it, it's just because, you know, it picks up brow pencils and pomades. But we're just going to use this brow gel to spoolie through my brows to make those hairs stand in place. You know what? This actually might make it easier to fill in my brows. I used to do this, like not even as a challenge. I used to use the brow gel first so I could get the brows to stay in place because my brows are very naturally full and my hairs have a mind of its own. So they kind of like to go all over the place and not listen to me. So I used to gel my brows down first and then just take a brush and kind of fill in the negative space a little bit so it doesn't go crazy and start clumping. I'm gonna give these guys a second to dry. Taking my Brow Stylist Definer by L'Oreal in Brunette, I'm not gonna like really fill in my brows. I'm just gonna kind of fill in those bald spots. By the way, I absolutely hate filling in my brows before I do the rest of my face makeup, so this should be interesting. All right, I feel like that's as good as they're gonna get without wasting a ton more product trying to get them perfectly even. They're cousins, not sisters. Oh God, oh boy. So in makeup, you never want to apply creams over powders. Now there are a couple exceptions, like if you wanted to use like a cream blush, actually no, not even then, because you would always apply a powder over the cream, because I was even thinking with like cream highlighters, you could put like a powder highlighter over it. You always want to put your powders over your creams. If you put your creams over your powders, you get this weird texture, and that's what we're doing today because we need to powder before we conceal. That's weird. Okay, so for setting powder, I've been using the Fit Me powder, and I may be actually running pretty low on this stuff, but I do have my beauty blender here, so I'm gonna dip into the powder, and we're gonna bake underneath our eyes because that's always where I start with the powder. So I'm gonna look up and press this right underneath. Woo! That's why I love this powder. It's super, super brightening. Then normally I would powder on my chin, right over that highlight, on my nose, right over the highlight, and on my forehead. I would normally let this sit and bake before I do my brows, but because I have to put on concealer, we're just gonna pretty much wipe it away immediately. Oh boy, okay, we're going in with concealer using, again, the Born This Way concealer. I'm just gonna make a couple of dots underneath my eyes, bada boom. A little bit on my chin, exactly where we just powdered, down my nose, a little bit right on the tip, and a little bit on my forehead. Now this concealer, you'll notice, like matches my skin tone pretty well, so I need to get a lighter concealer, trust me, I know. But I'm gonna use the other side of the Beauty Blender where there is no powder and try to buff this out and pretty much see how it reacts with the powder, but then this is not gonna be set with powder, so it's gonna move and it might crease. I I'm remembering that I don't have primer on right now, and I'm just thinking of the next couple of products that are coming up, and it's making me laugh. But I was just going over the areas where I have like kind of larger pores, and I'm like, why is it so bad looking? And I'm remembering that I don't have primer on. Oh, that does not look good. Wow. I still have dark circles under my eyes right here. The pores are poking through. Oh, thank God I'm not going out in public today. And I don't know what is going on with this liquid lipstick, but you guys can see how like cracked and gross it looks even after I applied a balm. So I'm gonna try to use a lip liner with it and maybe just use a thin layer of this product over it to give it that color. But by itself, ooh, not looking too cute. Ew! Look at that. Look at that. Ugh. Next, more creams. We're going in with my Anastasia foundation stick in shadow to, well, contour. Ew. Ew. Just the texture of putting it on my skin. I can like feel the powder moving. Ick. Then I would take this medium-sized brush and I would buff it into my skin. I would do this again before the bronzer, so it would kind of like give my contour kind of a head start, and then I would just go over those areas with the bronzer. But not today. I look nasty. I look like I just rolled around in a batter of mud and flour. I'm so freaking powdery. Oh gosh. Oh, sugar. I should have started, because normally I would take this brush and go in first, and then I would go over it with my beauty blender to blend it out. Sorry, I forgot that, but I am gonna try to go over the beauty blender with it, because it's not fully blending out with this brush. Like the brush pretty much gets the process started, but I like to go over it again, just to make that contour seamless. Ooh, that's not even budging. Right here it looks kind of muddy, so I'm trying to blend it out. It's not even moving. Okay. Okay. I'm taking a moment to really appreciate my makeup routine. We are finally moving on to foundation, which I have been using the Super Stay foundation. Hopefully you guys saw that video. If not, I'll leave a card up here for you guys. But I like to take a little bit on the back of my hand here. I take this larger brush, and then after I dot it all over my skin, covering everything. Oh, you know what? I'm not gonna make the same mistake that I just did with the contour, because again, I would go in with this brush and then the beauty blender. To do it in reverse, I'm gonna do the beauty blender and then the brush. I mean, the beauty blender is kind of saving it, but not really. I'm pretty sure this look is pretty unsavable at this point. I feel like my face feels so different than my normal routine. Like it just feels really heavy, and like I have a lot of product on, which is just crazy because this is what I do every single day, but it feels so uncomfortable. I don't like it at all. And my lips feel gross. Ugh, this lipstick is gross. Again, by itself, I don't know what it would be like with a light layer of it with a lip liner, but so far I'm not liking it as much as I did the first line of lingerie, so we'll see. That is pretty much as good as I'm getting it. Again, the powder is kind of making it really difficult, especially on the sides of my nose, to really blend it out well, so I'm not gonna really be able to get in there. Got a little too close to my eyes with my foundation. Okay, new memory card is in place, so if we shift it a little bit, that is why. Quick intermission. I was saying that I don't think this foundation is gonna get any better. Again, my pores are poking through. It covered nicely. This foundation has great coverage. My face just doesn't feel very comfortable. So before my foundation, I would normally put on my primer. So we're gonna do that. So taking some of my Monistat, I don't know how this is gonna feel. I don't know what this is gonna do to my foundation. I'm terrified. I'm terrified, but we're gonna do it. Here we go. Oh yeah. Oh, ew. is moving around my foundation entirely. Ew, it's so streaky now. Ugh, and wet. Ew, that does not feel good by any means. Oh, that completely ruined it. That completely ruined it. It is so streaky. Oh, look at that big patch there. It just basically looks like I just went in with a little bit of water and smudged my foundation around. That's what that is looking like. So the very first step, or our last step in today's challenge, is moisturizer. And I know at this point, just because of what that monostat just did in my face, this is not gonna end well. But I've been using a new moisturizer, which I've shown on Snapchat, I've shown on vlogs. I'm just showing it for the people who may have missed that. This is the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Cream. I really love it. It's very, very moisturizing, and I apply it right before I put on makeup. So I'm just going to take a little bit of it here and work it into my fingers, and here goes my makeup. Well, it feels very hydrating. Thank God, because my face was drying up from that powder. But that completes today's challenge. Truthfully, I was expecting a much bigger train wreck. We have a minor train wreck here. Definitely not wearable. I wouldn't walk outside right now. Maybe for like a coffee or something. But I don't know. I think the best thing that turned out was the eyes, especially the top. It really looks like something that I would do kind of every day. The bottom definitely needs a little bit of loving. But I really enjoyed this challenge. Honestly, it kept me laughing throughout the entire thing. I just had a lot of fun, and I love filming with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed me taking on this challenge / trend, and I hope it, it hasn't gotten too old for you guys. I hope you enjoyed watching me do it with the products that I personally own. If you did enjoy, please show me by leaving a thumbs up on this video, or you can leave a comment down below. I love reading them. Even if I may not respond, I do read all of my comments. Also, subscribe and turn on that notification bell if you don't want to miss any new videos, and I hope to see you guys in my next one. Bye!